Age.
Right then, move over, Harry Potter. There's a brand new kid on the block. He's called Jack Shian. Did I get that right, Andrew?
Shian.
Shian. Oh, I knew I'd get it wrong. You know, we've been
Waggy,
practicing
that was
all
quite
morning.
close. I thought you did not too bad there.
Welcome, Andrew Symon.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm doing away fine, thank you very much. Now, you are the author of a brand new trilogy of books aimed at sort of teenagers.
9 to young teenagers,
Right.
so 9 upwards.
So tell us about this. So Jack Shian, did I get it right there?
Got it right, well done.
And the King's Chalice.
That's right. It's a fantasy fiction, and it's set in the other world, but it intersects quite a lot with the human world. So it's set in Edinburgh, principally under Edinburgh Castle, which is where the Shian Square is. The Stone of Destiny coming back to Scotland has woken the Shian people again, and so the Shian Square is opened up again. So it's re-energised them, and they're coming out, and they intersect with the humans in a number of places in Edinburgh.
Would we know a Shian, or do they look just like humans?
If you're observant, you'll see Shian people. The eyes are usually quite distinctive, very bright, sometimes different coloured eyes. And the ears sometimes a little bit pointed, but if you wear your hair over the ears, then you might not notice it. And most humans are pretty unobservant. I think they probably don't notice people.
Absolutely, yeah, that's quite true.
Well,
I think.
that's very true.
So how did you come up with the premise of it all then?
It started when I was reading about Scottish folklore a number of years ago, and I realised that Scottish folklore goes back centuries. I mean, the otherworld people have been around for a long, long time. But they seem to disappear for a while, and I thought, well, there's obviously an appetite for fantasy fiction with Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, but there's no Scottish canvas for this, and so I wanted to create a series of stories against the Scottish backdrop.
And is Jack a hero? I mean, is he an all-action boy? Does he save the world?
In a sense, I suppose he's a little bit like Harry in that he kind of underestimates himself. He doesn't quite realise how much he's got, but his determination comes through and it grows as he grows.
Now, it's a fast-paced, mystical, magical adventure, isn't it? It's a real page-turner.
It is, I think
according
so.
to some reviews.
Yes,
that
we've had some nice reviews actually up on Amazon, and yes, they're saying it's a page-turner, which is very nice to hear.
And who's it going to appeal to? What's your target age group?
Well, as I say, 9 upwards to young teenagers, I think we'll go for this. And anyone actually who's interested in Scottish folklore, because it taps into stories that certainly my granny grew up with. But as I say, we kind of buried them for a little while, but I think it's time just to dust them off and show that they're actually contemporary as well.
Is it nice when you're doing the planning of a book? There's certain things, if you're doing a book that's set in modern day, Edinburgh Castle's there, therefore you have to use Edinburgh Castle, but there's monsters and creatures in this book. Is it fun letting your imagination run riot? Oh,
it is, especially putting some of those magical bits into modern contemporary Scotland, because you've got free range. It starts with a festival up on Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh, but there's a spell that doesn't allow humans to get up there for the duration of the festival. But all the creatures can get up there, and they have their midsummer festival up on Arthur's Seat. So it's great fun thinking about how do you keep the human and Shian bits apart when they need to be apart, but how do they intersect when there are occasions when they cross paths?
Now, Celtic countries, as you say, are rich in folklore and stories passed down from generation to generation. Was it a lot of fun researching, through all Scotland's folklore and fairy tales, really, aren't they?
Well, they are fairy tales, but I don't use that F word actually in the book.
Okay.
Shame on you, Mo. How dare you?
Fairy tales.
But I stay not far from Glenshee, the Schiehallion. There's the Shian Hill, the Shiochi Hill in Dunkeld. So the Shie is a phrase, a sound that comes that's put through in a lot of Scottish place names, especially in the Highlands. So it's kind of all around us. Glenshee is the Glen of the Fairies.
Yes.
Schiehallion is a fairy hill. So it's all there. It's just that we've kind of forgotten what some of these things are and what they mean. So it was great fun just doing some research about some of the traditions and the way humans and the Shian otherworld people interact. So yes, it was great fun.
Is it a good versus evil book?
Yes, it's in that sense there are goodies and baddies, very much so. There's to go back to the folklore band, there's the Seelie, who are the good otherworld people, but the Unseelie are the evil ones who are actually actively trying to harm humans.
Are they like the Waggotts?
Excuse me, thank you very much. You don't need to answer that, Andrew. You yourself, though, have had a right checkered background and upbringing, haven't you?
I have. I was born abroad. My father worked abroad, and so I was born abroad, and so were my sisters. So yes, we moved around a fair bit from Greece to Japan. So and thereafter to London. So, but my folks come from the north of Scotland, so I always kind of knew I'd head back here.
And various jobs you've had as well. Is writing, you're lecturing at Dundee University at the moment as well, but is writing a passion that you've always had?
No, but it's very much part of my job, and it's interesting that the writing, it's a very different style of writing to my work writing, but the skills are very complementary. That I found that there's kind of crossover there in terms of drafting and redrafting and thinking about better ways of saying things. So the writing is the bit I really enjoy most, I think, about work.
Have your students had a quick flick through the book and hauled you up in it? Excuse me, you told me I wasn't allowed to say that, and you've written it this way.
No, they haven't. Some of them very nice. They've bought them for their children. So yes, they've. I've not allowed them not to notice it. Put it that way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
What about your own family, Andrew? How did they receive the book when they read it?
Well, my sons were very helpful. They helped me with earlier drafts of the book because I started writing it a number of years ago, and it took a while to tighten it up and get it up to a really publishable standard. And my oldest son said it was good, but he wanted a bit more bloodshed in it, so I had to go away and just think about that.
Gore it up a bit,
a little bit more gore.
Okay.
So it's not a gory read, but there's a battle scene at the end, and that was made a little bit more active.
Did you tap in? Sorry, Wags. Did you tap into your son's imagination for any of it?
I'm not sure that I did actually. I think they were. They gave me some feedback. They liked it because they liked the way that the journey pans out. But I think, they were reading Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter at the time, so it was that kind of, there was a lot of talk about these kind of otherworld and fantasy ideas.
And it's the first of a trilogy.
That's right.
And the other two are written, so you know kind of what happens.
I do.
Obviously the arc.
Yes, the second one is Jack Shian and the Mappa Mundi, and that's about a medieval map which is both human but also otherworlds, and it has different roles depending on who's got it. And that's the second Shian treasure, and then the Destiny Stone is the third story, and that kind of brings us full circle because circumstances force them to leave Edinburgh, but they have to get back in. A huge host of Seelie Shian have to attack Edinburgh Castle.
Because of its Scottish relevance, it sounds like it might be a good read for adults as well.
I think so. If your adults are interested in folklore, then yes, I think that this is something that they would connect with.
So where can we buy it, Andrew? It's launched now. It's published on the 16th of April, so it's out there.
That's right, yes. It's in Smiths and Watersons, and it's available in a number of online bookstores as well. So it's
Amazon
available.
and
Amazon,
the usual.
Definitely got it. We've got a Facebook page, and there's a website as well, which is just to give a bit more backstory about some of the characters. So there's various places people can find it, but all good bookstores.
Do you know the website?
The website is shianquest.com, and Shian is SHIAN. Shianquest.com is the website.
Okay, and that'll have all the details of where you can get the book and Facebook and everything like that. Andrew, thank you very much for coming in and chatting to us today.
And good luck with it, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds great.
You never know, might be the next big thing, the next big film series.
I was going to say, could it transfer onto the big screen?
Well, it's interesting because I had this sort of tableau in my head, and I was trying to describe this stuff, so I think visually, and I think that the story was kind of almost like a screen in my head, and I was trying to describe what was on the screen. So I think it would translate well, and people who've read it said that they get a good sense of the visual in it, that it conjures up these images. So
it's an art in itself.
It may well transfer. I can see it on the screen.
Hollywood, here we come.
Absolutely. Andrew, thank you very much.
Thank you.